Send down Big O. And yes, we talked about the defense. What is up, Finn fans? Yep, me and Big O getting back together. I finally got the internet back this week, so I was able to sit down with a Big O and talk about things. He gave me his thoughts on the defense, see where he's coming from. I told him my thoughts on the defense. You'll see if he sees where I'm coming from. But yeah, no, a lot of you guys were like, make sure you say to Big O, about the defense. And I did. I told him. I don't like the way it's run. I told him all that stuff. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that. We talk about the upcoming game against the Packers, all that good stuff. Again, I will not be live streaming the Packers game. It is on Christmas Day. And I'm going to be driving all over the place, seeing my family, my wife's family, all that stuff. I will be watching the game, but I will not be live streaming the game. I just hate that it's on Christmas Day. I wish it was the Monday night game. And I'd live stream it. But yeah, I knew once I saw it's Christmas Day, I was like, I'm not going to be able to live stream this thing. But I will live stream the Patriots game, and I will live stream the Jets game. But before we jump into me and Big O, want to say tonight we're rooting for the Jaguars. Jaguars beat the Jets. We win the next two games, Packers, Patriots. We clinch a playoff spot. So rooting hard for the Jaguars. I will see you guys tomorrow, be previewing the Dolphins Packers game, and I will still be doing the post game after the Packers game. When I get home, I will be doing the post game and giving you guys my thoughts on everything. Hopefully with the win. We are home. I'll talk more about that tomorrow in the preview. Dolphins play different at home, all that good stuff. But other than that, let's jump into me and Big O. Like usual, stay classy. If it's up. Go. I wish we were meeting on better circumstances, but
That's not so bad.
3-game losing streak again.
I know. I'm not really that concerned. I just think it's not the same Dolphins team of the past, and I'm more pissed at Mike McDaniel the last 2 weeks than anything else, actually. And I saw your piece yesterday, the day before. You were talking about the defense, and you were hammering them, and you and I are going to completely disagree on that one.
People are waiting out for that conversation.
Absolutely and totally disagree with you on that one. To me, Mike McDaniel just pissed away that game. Your defense is not, and I think, I send a message to you too. I think all of you have to reprogram yourselves. It's a mediocre defense. It's not a good defense. There's 5 guys you can count on the defense. Steeler, Wilkins, Phillips, Holland, and Kohu. It ends there. You have 11 on defense. There are 6 guys that are like liabilities. It's too hard. They got you that turnover in late in that game. On 3rd and 1, buddy, you don't throw the ball. You keep running.
Yeah.
On 3rd and 2, keep running. On 3rd and 3, keep running. You would have extended drives. You'd have kept that sorry-ass defense off the field. They do enough to just keep you in games. I lived the era of Dan Marino. And I can tell you countless games, all right, Doug, where and ask your dad. And we'll sit there and we'll go, wow, dude, Dan Marino kicked ass today. He threw 370 yards, 4 touchdowns, and they lost 38-35. Damn, dude, they put up 42 points, but Richard Todd put up 45. Ask your dad. And those are the moments where you're like, damn, dude, J.B. Brown and Bud Brown and this guy and that guy can't cover and that guy can't block and that guy can't tackle and the defense is giving away. Not one time this season have we said, wow, the offense kicked ass and the defense gave the game away. It hasn't happened. The defense is not good. I'm never going to argue that. But they're so injury riddled that I think they do a good enough job of just keeping you in the game. And the real talent is on that side of the ball. Look, dude, I don't know what we can do to motivate Chubb. Do we put a hot poker in his ass? I don't know. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do to Chubb? See, you can't rip Boyer for Chubb when Wilkins is kicking ass.
Mm-hmm.
Phillips is kicking ass. He found and nurtured and developed Kohu.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
Holland is back there just trying to keep things together. He can't even play his normal aggressive game because unfortunately he has to worry about all the other things on the boundaries. And so to me, I just feel like whether it's you or some of the other people out there, we're going to an extreme on the defense because we're so used to them bailing the team out. We're so
Mm.
used to them being the anchors of the team that we need to reprogram ourselves. Okay. And if you had Byron and a healthy X, because Boyer can't do anything if X is not healthy,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
And now, he's got either injuries or if you read the Salguero article, he's got 2 lawsuits that he's dealing with and
Yeah.
all that. And this is why, everybody got pissed at me and all bothered, right? When I said trade X a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, right? When I said, hey, bro, now's the time. Get
Yeah.
off the train now because you're going to be able to get everything for him now. Now you
Mm.
can't get anything for him
No.
because now we're a couple years removed. Now injuries, more playing time on, more wear and tear. And then he's got the off the field issues. And, it's like, and what's Boyer supposed to do if your best corner can't even be your best corner? Your best corner is a guy from Division II right
Mm.
now.
Mm.
Okay. Darth Cater is the only corner you really have on this team.
Seriously.
And so Crossan or Bethel, whatever the kid's name is. I mean, all these guys are just fill-ins. They're just guys. And to me, it's like, brother, they kept you in this game. Look, when Josh gets that big run on Duke Riley,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
I tweeted out Zach Thomas, John Offerdahl,
Mm-hmm.
Nick Bonacani, Duke Riley.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
wrong with this picture?
Yeah. Exactly.
Is that Boyer's fault? I can't blame Boyer if he's got a linebacker out there and I like Duke Riley,
Mm-hmm.
but I like him as my 4th linebacker.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
My 4th linebacker coming off the bench to fill in for somebody. That's where I like Duke Riley. And I think he fills that role. He's a fantastic young man. He's got great leadership qualities. He's probably one of the best guys to talk football with because he really talks it. There's a lot of things to like about Duke Riley.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean I want him as a starter, unfortunately. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. And so I just think that some of you are focusing way too much of your hate on the defense when Mike McDaniel had a chance to extend every drive with a run on 3rd and
Mm-hmm.
short, and his hard-headedness passed instead.
Mm-hmm.
If on half of those he tries the runs and they fail, then when he's at the podium trying to tell me that he's trying to get ahead of the defense, then I might believe you.
Mm-hmm.
But because you didn't, and all I have for examples are 7 yards for Ahmed, 7 yards for Mostert. All I know is you're running all over them.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. He could have ran all those things and extended drives, would have kept your team off the field. You might have produced more points.
Yeah.
By running more on those. You never know. Then he leaves a point on the field early in the game. That is pure arrogance.
Mm-hmm.
Arrogance is passing on every 3rd and short when you're running, outthinking yourself, thinking you are unstoppable. Arrogance is going for a 2-point conversion in the first quarter when you're moving the ball on them, and there's not a goddamn chart in the world that's telling you going to go for 2 at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Take the point. You're on the road.
Yeah.
3rd thing that he screwed up as a head coach, Braylon Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Child, run.
Yeah.
Run like the wind. You run right into a touchdown, bro. Run like the wind, child.
Mm-hmm.
But Child, a few weeks back, was put in the game and screwed up.
Yeah.
You now put him in a very important game in a position that he should not be in. That was the same play that they burned the Bills with earlier in the season.
Mm-hmm.
If Child runs down the middle, he splits the safeties, and there's another touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's not on Tua, it's on McDaniel. Why isn't Cedric running that route? Why isn't Gesicki running that route? Why isn't somebody with experience running that route? I get it. Ezukama must be lost, so Sanders has passed him over. He gave us this bullshit explanation, and I love McDaniel, by the way. I am a big Mike McDaniel fan, and just like I'm a huge Tua fan, But I'm not going to give Tua a break for San Francisco and the Chargers. He played
Mm-hmm.
bad. We
Mm-hmm.
have to be honest here, okay? And Mike McDaniel did a shitty job of coaching in the Chargers game, and he did a shitty job of coaching in this game against the Bills. You don't put Sanders in that spot, okay? You put somebody experienced. The kid, I guess he must have had a sign in his helmet that said objects appear closer than what they really are, or something. He all of a sudden stops and the ball's way down there. His depth perception obviously sucks. Okay, so he doesn't have baseball in his future. He can't be an outfielder. He can't field the ball. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm.
So these are things that they screwed up. Besides Sherfield and Hill dropping touchdowns in one drive at the beginning of the game too. All of these things could have settled the game down, and they would have easily won, and the defense would have done more than enough to win for you. Yet they kept you in the game. They got you the late turnover, and you couldn't keep the drive alive on 3rd and short on that. So that's where I will defend the defense to death and defend Boyer. It's not that he's the greatest in the world. I'm not trying to tell anybody that. I'm just trying to tell you, dude, he's doing the best with what he has, what he has left. He doesn't have a lot left. He doesn't have a lot to depend on. The fact that he's just keeping you in games. And by the way, I put out a tweet with a whole bunch of teams over the weekend. And, the Kansas City Chiefs gave up 500 yards to the Texans.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that they gave up 446, I think it was, to the Bills. The Bills gave up 405.
Mm-hmm.
And they would have gave up more if McDaniel actually runs the ball and extends some of those drives. And then here's the other thing. It's a lot easier if you're Josh Allen playing the Dolphins defense than it is if you're Tua Tagovailoa playing the Buffalo defense. Because, I was like Dave Hyde, it was a really entertaining and comical article he had in the Sun Sentinel. I think it was yesterday. Or Monday. Tua Tagovailoa is what Josh Allen needs to be. No, he's not going to be 6'5". He's not going to run like a deer. He's not going to run over people. So no, Dave Hyde. No, he's not going to be Josh Allen, bro. He is what he is. He did more than enough to win the game. Yeah. It's the other people around him that either have to catch the damn ball, run the damn route, or run the damn ball. So, people made decisions and mistakes on offense, and that's why they lost the game more than anything else on that day. And one more thing I want to add to all of this, because there's a rant on our page about it. Name me, in the history of your existence, in your father's existence, because I want you to have this conversation with your dad, because I don't know if you guys caught this one on our show. Name me one quarterback that we've ever talked about. Can he play in the rain? Can he play in the snow?
That's very true.
Can he play in the heat? It's never happened in the history of the game. The stuff that happens with Tua does not happen to anybody else in the history of football. The crap that this kid has to deal with, everybody plays in the rain. Everybody plays in the snow, and everybody plays in the heat. Yep. And guess what? Everybody has bad games. That doesn't mean you can't play. The guy has, if the guy played 6 snow games and they all sucked, or 6 cold games, or 6 rain games and they all sucked, then we might say it. But because of the Titans game or whatever, all of a sudden the stupidest narrative came up. Can he play in the cold? Well, not only could he play in the cold, he threw darts all over the damn place, bro. He excelled. Leave him alone already. Stop coming up with stupid stuff to argue about that has nothing to do with football. Football is played in the snow. It's played in the rain. It's played in the heat and humidity. Okay? And the Dolphins didn't wilt in the cold like the Bills did in the heat.
Very true.
Okay? So let's stop with this crap already. You know what I mean? And just ease up on the defense, man. Just ease up a little bit on the defense. They're doing just enough to get you by. It's the offense, dude. From now on, the offense has to carry it.
Yeah, 100%. My biggest knock on the defense is the calls, right? Is the play calls in certain situations. That's what drives me nuts about Josh Boyer, especially the long thirds. And like the 3rd and 17 play, right?
I
You
get
know
it.
you know your limitation, right? We all know that the secondary is just decimated with injuries. Even with X, there's something
So he's
going
trying to
on with
keep
him.
everything in front of him because everything gets behind him. What he's trying anything and everything, man, scheme,
Mm-hmm.
crazy formations to just keep everything in front, because he's afraid of giving. And the math says, anyways,
Mm,
whether they scored 3 or 7, they won the game anyways. They won it by 6.
mm.
In the end, you didn't do your job on offense to actually get everything else. But what is going to work, Doug? You tell me what's going to work because I don't have the answers. I've seen them play every kind of defense, and they can't do it.
Mm.
They can't do anything. I mean, Jerome Baker picks up 8, 9, 10, 11 tackles, but they're all downfield. You know what I mean? Well, a couple might be behind the line of scrimmage, maybe, but you're tackling 5, 7, 8 yards downfield. That doesn't really do a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's just I get what he was trying, and it's the wackiest formation out there. I
Mhm.
understand, but I just wonder what will work, Doug.
See, and that's where I get like I'm like Josh, you gotta because he knows his limitations. He knows that the secondary you can't leave the secondary on an island for too long because besides Cater, no one's really good. So my thought process on that 3rd and 17 and on the 3rd and goal the week before and like a bunch of these plays is you want to get pressure on the quarterback quickly so he doesn't have time to sit back there and allow these receivers to run 19 yards down the field. But then you flip it, and once the field starts to become shorter, he starts blitzing, leaving running backs wide open. And it's like there's certain call like, and I understand 100%. I always give him the benefit of the doubt when it comes to linebackers are garbage, right? Like I,
I mean,
I
and they can't cover, bro. It's just they
no, they
can't.
can't cover for their run. Like
Landon Roberts, are you kidding me,
he
bro?
is
Are
the
you
best
kidding me?
run stopping linebacker we have. That's it. Like that.
That's all he,
You
that's all
drop
he
him
can
back
do.
into coverage, it's a
He's
liability. That's
done.
why Dawson Knox was just torching us because who's going to cover him? You're going to put Clayton Fedulum on him.
And then you want to pressure the quarterback, but bro, Chubb, where are you?
Hmm. That's the other
Because
thing that drives me nuts. Is like, should we have
and,
traded
and
for
you watch
Roquan?
the film. I know you watch the film. He's not getting double teamed all the time. There are occasional chip blocks that he should use as traffic cones, like Boza did to our guys.
Hmm.
Okay. And yet I'm not seeing it. Now you watch Phillips, and the man is killing himself to get there. You
Hmm.
watch Wilkins, and he is doing whatever it takes to crumble the pocket, to get there, to put some pressure, to stop a play, to tackle somebody behind the line of scrimmage. And you know what's funny? The hilarious part, and I can always tell when people aren't looking at the film. Well, Chubb's doing his job. He's taking up the double teams, opening up for other guys. No, he's not, idiot. Go look at the film. He's not doing that. In fact, Phillips and Wilkins are opening it up for Chubb to go do stuff, and he's
Hmm.
not doing his job.
Yeah,
Watch the film.
because
It is depressing to watch the film.
people bring
Okay?
up the hike in sack percentage once Chubb got there, but like I showed in the film breakdown on Tuesday, I showed 2 instances where he makes contact with that left tackle and then he just stays with him. And
Right.
I'm like, is he playing contain? Is he just making sure that Josh Allen doesn't get out on that left side? Like what? He just hits him and then him and the tackle are kind of just like, I'm just, what's up, man? Like you just hugged your best friend. Whereas you
Right.
like
Right.
look on the other side, Phillips, he's ripping and he's trying to get around him and stuff. Chubb is just, I'm there. I'm here.
Right.
What's up? What are we doing? And
Right.
I just but then that's also the other thing that drives me nuts with Josh Boyer is I look at critical passing downs and I don't see Jalen Phillips out there. Or he's dropping back into coverage. And I'm like,
Yeah.
stop.
Well, no, by the way, he's pulled Chubb too.
I'm not,
Notice he's also pulled Chubb. He's put him on the other side too, trying to mix it up a little bit. And yeah, I get, but again, it's like, is he giving Phillips a breather at that moment because the guy's gassed because he's
mm-hmm,
playing all the downs? So
mm-hmm,
I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on in all those situations at times,
mm-hmm,
and so it puts the burden there's a huge burden on Wilkins, Sealer, and
Oh yeah.
Phillips, man,
Yeah. 100%.
because nobody else is really producing.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't see anybody else doing anything else right there. And then it's Cater and it's Holland.
Yeah.
And then Holland's been choked because of the mess in the secondary. He can't be himself back there. He has to be the insurance policy for everybody. So it changes his game. Everything's changed because if you have no pass rush, then it exposes a secondary that can't cover. If you don't have a secondary, you can't get any coverage sacks. And if you have only a couple of the guys that are really pressuring the quarterback, and yet the guy that's supposed to be your best pass rusher is not even close to your best pass rusher, and the guy that's your best corner is not even there, then, dude, it's really hard to overcome all of that as a defensive coordinator. That's why I cannot blame him for everything. We can nitpick and talk about this formation or that formation, but in the end, do they do enough every week for you to win? That's the question I have for everybody.
Yeah.
Do they do enough for you to win? Forget about Jason Taylor's defense. That's not coming here. Okay? JT and Zach and all, they're not walking through the door, as Rick Pitino would say. Okay? Let's let that go, man. That's not this defense. There isn't Pat and Sam back there. There's a young Division II player playing his ass off. Okay? And then outside of that, there just isn't. The other corner, the nickel, the dime.
Yeah.
It's bad, man. It's bad. It's bad.
Before we get out of here, we got to talk about Green Bay real quick. Christmas Day. What's your thoughts on this game?
My same thoughts for all three games. You got to win them all. You're better than all three of those teams. Go out there and perform. I want Mike McDaniel to be making better decisions. Now, he's a young coach. He's going to make some mistakes. He's going to get a little cocky. I hope there's somebody there to check him in the building. I hope somebody can say, "Hey, Mike, in this situation, we gotta run the ball. We gotta run the ball.
Yeah.
We gotta take some time off the clock. We gotta keep our defense as fresh as possible. That we gotta be the anchors on this offense here. Plus, our offensive linemen are feeling really good. They're really confident. These are the kind of moments that they kind of need to run out this game, those kind of things. And I hope that he's not as cocky to take a 2-point conversion so early in a game where, dude, you march right down the field. Relax. You got this.
Yeah.
That's because that's the one thing that stood out to me. My God, they started running on the Bills. I was sexually aroused watching that. So if you start all of a sudden now you're running the ball too with the way you guys can pass the ball. Do you know how much more dangerous Tua gets if you can run the ball?
Oh,
if the linebacker's got to get sucked in and the middle of the field again becomes open, which is the reason why you want to keep running the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think, look, the Dillon kid's a big kid, A.J. Dillon. But the Dolphins have done a really good job all year against backs.
Yeah.
What kills them is Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Justin Fields going crazy with their legs. That's what killed them. That's what killed them in this game too, bro. What killed them was those runs by Josh Allen. Those things were devastating to the Dolphins. So that's not the element that's involved in this game right now. You don't necessarily have to deal with a running quarterback, and I think they'll be fine against the run. They've got young receivers overall, so I'm not that afraid. The offense is better than it's been earlier in the season for the Packers, but still, you're home. You should be able to take advantage of it, and I don't believe their defense. I don't believe their defense is going to stop the Packers.
No.
I mean the Dolphins.
No.
So I really like the Dolphins in this game, just like I love the Dolphins against the Patriots. The Patriots have a good defense, but their offense does not scare me whatsoever. And
we can play in the cold.
Yeah, and Tua has Belichick's number. The Jet game is going to be the real challenge because of their defense. Their defense is really active. Again, not afraid of their offense either overall. So I like the Dolphins down the stretch. I have confidence in the Dolphins. I get it that there's some of you out there, you're beaten down from the last 20, 25 years, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But I'm sorry. I've never faltered on Tua. I believe in
Mm,
Tua.
mm.
I believe in Chris Greer. I believe in Mike McDaniel. I love what they're doing now. This doesn't resemble anything like Dolphins teams of the last 20 years. By the way, your quarterback, Dolphin Nation, led the Pro Bowl in voting, which, that's not just Dolphins. That's also NFL fans going, respect to Tua, respect to Tua.
Mm.
So this is the best quarterback you've had since Marino. We've said it, right? The voting kind of proved it too at the same time. And by the way, kudos to all of you in Dolphins Nation all over the world, because one of the things I talked about on my show this week, Doug, is that this proves that the Dolphins have one of the best fan bases in the
Mhm.
NFL by miles.
Mhm.
Okay. People can talk whatever they want about, sometimes people arriving late or not filling the stadium at times and all that stuff, which if you look at capacity numbers, they're right up there with everybody else at the top. So they do the job, but it shows you how long we've been waiting for a good team. That's
Yeah,
all it is.
exactly.
It's just that we've been sitting in the weeds forever waiting for it. And as I said also on the show this week, we're one of the few teams that have dolphin bars all over the world.
Yeah,
Okay.
we do.
Okay, so not every team can claim that they have their own Redskins, or I'm sorry, Commanders bars all over the world, or Bucks bars all over the world, or anything. But the Dolphins have bars everywhere, right in the heart of New York, where the enemy is all the time. Western New York, even in the city or whatever. You and I were at Slattery's,
Yep.
obviously. So give me a break, dude. People talk a lot of crap about the Miami fan base, and I'm sorry to tell you, you get it now that you've been at this for a while now.
Yeah.
I've felt it for 30 years from dealing with people. They're all over the world, dude, and they're strong and they follow this team. And I'm really happy. And you guys, responded with Tua and Hill and all these guys and Armstead and Ingold getting all the votes. So kudos, man, to the Dolphin Nation, man. Great job.
Definitely.
Great job.
Definitely. All right, bud. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas. I
Mhm.
will see you next week. Hopefully a
Yes.
big dub. Be sure to go check out Big O. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. He's getting very close to
Yes.
17,000. Let's
Let's
get
get us
him
to
there.
20, bro. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's bring
Let's
on the
do it.
Dolphin
Let's
Nation.
do it. And bud,
Come
I
on,
will
big old radio show on YouTube. Please subscribe out there. Help us get to 20 grand, man. I want to get to 20 grand and build it up. All
all
right.
right, bud. I
Appreciate
will
you
see
all
you
out.
next week, my man.
You got it, baby. Go Fins.